Hello students, welcome to the first part of our second chapter of the first unit, measurement. Today we are going to deal with error analysis. This is a very important chapter. After this chapter we will be able to express our measurements and observations with much more precision and accuracy and reducing the error. First of all, we have to study about significant figures. The degree of accuracy of a measurement depends upon the least count of the measuring instrument. How much accurate our measurement is or our particular observation, it depends upon the least count of the measuring instrument, or what we can call as the resolution of our measuring instrument. Smaller the least count, greater will be the accuracy. In order to understand this, we take the example of a meter stick which has a least count of 0.1 centimeter. That means accuracy up to 1/10 of a centimeter. That means it can measure the observation up to 1/10 of a centimeter, that is up to first decimal place. Suppose we measure the length of the small rod and the rod comes out to be equal to 2.5 centimeter. If the same meter stick is given to some other person to repeat the measurement, then when the student will repeat the measurement or the person will repeat the measurement, he may get a new value, for example 2.4 centimeter or 2.3 centimeter or even 2.5 centimeter. That means when the same measurement is repeated, then the value that is before the decimal place, that is 2, it will always be present in the observation, but the decimal which is present at the first decimal place, it can vary or it may also not vary. That means when the length of a same rod is measured by different persons using the same meter stick, in all the observations we may find out that the digit before the decimal place will always be present. 2 will always be repeated in all the observations, but the digit which is present at the first decimal place, it may or it may not repeat itself. So, in order to increase the accuracy, we can take the help of vernier calipers, which has a least count of 0.01 centimeter, accuracy 1/100th of a centimeter. That means it can measure the observation up to second decimal place. Suppose the length of the same rod measured with the vernier caliper comes out to be equal to 2.56 centimeter. So, in this case, when the vernier calipers are used to measure the length of the rod, the result is expressed up to second decimal place. Over here also, if the same vernier caliper is given to different student to measure the length of the same rod, then if we compare the results taken by the different student, we may come across a situation where the length of the rod measured by the students will be like 2.56 centimeter, 2.57 centimeter, 2.53 centimeter, like that, such that in all the observations the digit before the decimal place and the digit present at the first decimal place, it will be present in observation of all the student. But the digit which is present at the second decimal place, which is also the resolution of our measuring instrument, that is its least count is also up to second decimal place, this digit can vary. In order to further increase the accuracy, if we take the help of the screw gauge, which has a least count of 0.001 centimeter, accuracy 1/1000th of a centimeter, then the length can be expressed as 2.56 centimeter. Again, if screw gauge is given to different student to measure the same length of the rod, then the student may come across the values like 2.56 centimeter, 2.53 centimeter, 2.564 centimeter, 2.569 centimeter, 2.560 centimeter. That is, even here also the different observations will have digit before the decimal place, at the first decimal place and the second decimal place present in all the observation, but the digit present at the third decimal place, which is also the resolution of our measuring instrument, it may change. So whenever any measuring instrument is used to make certain kind of measurement, then if the same measurement is repeated by the different persons or even by the same person, then if we compare all the observations, then we come across an important result that the observation will contain few digits which will repeat themselves in all the observations, plus there will be one digit which will be present at the end of our measurement, at the end of our result, that will change, that may change or that may also remain same. So when we talk about our significant figures, the combination of such digits in our measurement, one, those repeating themselves, and the last digit which is present at the end of our result, which can change, the combination of these two digits, two types of digits, we call as the significant figures. So if we are decreasing the least count, the number of digits which are known reliably in the measurement increases. The digits which repeat themselves in our measurement, they are called as reliable digits, while the digit which is present at the end of our measurement result, which can change, it is known as the digit with uncertainty, because every time same measurement is repeated, it may appear in our observation or it may also undergo a change. So in first case, the number of digits which are known reliably is only one, that is 2. In second case, with the Vanni clipper, the number of digits known reliably were 2 and 5 at the first decimal place. With the Vanni clipper, it was 2, but in the third case with the screw gauge, the number of digits that were reliably known, they were increased to 3, 2, 5 and 6. So as the number of the digits which repeat themselves in our measurement, if the measurement is repeated multiple times, then if digits in the measurement are repeating themselves, that means we are tending to measure the correct value, the true value of our object, for example length of the rod in this case. So greater the number of reliably known digits in our result or in the measurement, greater will be the accuracy. So in this case, the combination of these reliably known digits and uncertain digits we call as the significant figures. So if we define them, the significant figures are the digits which are known reliably plus one last digit that is uncertain to us. So in this case, if we take the example of 2.56 and 7 centimeter, 2, 5 and 6, these are the digits which are known reliably because they will repeat themselves every time, and the digit 7 is the one which may change at the end. So this is a digit with uncertainty. So the combination of these two type of digits, we call it as the significant figure. One last thing, significant figures do not change with the system of units. So if we have a measurement expressed as 2.56 centimeter, 0.0256 meter, 0.0000256 kilometer, they contain same number of significant figures, that is 3, that is 2, 5 and 6. Now what are the rules for determining the number of significant figures? First, all non-zero digits are significant. For example, if a number contains non-zero digits, for example 17 or 178, all will be counted as the significant figures. So 17 has 2 significant figures, 178 has 3 significant figures. All zeros which are occurring in between non-zero digits, they are also significant. For example 401, 0 occurs between two non-zero digits 4 and 1, so it has 3 significant figures. So 0 here will be counted as a significant digit. 40056, 2 zeros are appearing between 4 and 5, so they will also be counted as the significant digits. So total number of significant figures are 5. Next, all zeros right to the non-zero digits are insignificant. The digit zeros which are present to the right side of the non-zero digits, they are insignificant. For example, in the number 20, 0 is present to the right of the 2 non-zero digits, so here it will not act as a significant figure. So number of significant figure is only 1. 21300, Zeros present on the right side of 2, 1, 3, they are insignificant. Number of significant figures only 3. All zeros right to the decimal and non-zero digits are significant. All zeros which are present to the right side of a decimal and non-zero digits, they are significant. For example, 0.20. Here the 0 before the decimal is not significant. Only the 0 which is to the right side of the non-zero digit will be significant. So here this 0 is insignificant, but this 0 will be significant. 2 is already a significant digit, so total number of significant figures are 2. In 0.2370, this 0 again is insignificant, but this 0 is a significant digit. So total number of significant figures are 23704 in number. Next, all zeros right to the decimal and left to the non-zero digits are insignificant. All zeros which are present right to the decimal and left to the non-zero digits are insignificant. For example, 0.04. Here this 0 is already insignificant in nature. This 0 is present left to the non-zero digit. Here the 0 was present right to the non-zero digit, so that's why it was significant. But in this case this 0 is present left to the non-zero digit, so it will be insignificant. So number of significant figures are only 1. 0.0045. These two zeros are again present left side of two non-zero digits, so they will not be significant. So only 2 significant figures are present here. Last, all zeros right of a non-zero digit but left to the decimal place are significant. All zeros right side of a non-zero digit but left side to a decimal place are significant. For example, 6370.0. It contains 5 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So all zeros which are present to the right side of a non-zero digit, this 0 is present right side of the non-zero digit 6, 3 and 7. So it is significant, and also left to the decimal place are significant. So it contains 5 significant figure. This 0 after the decimal will also be counted as the significant figure. 6400.0, it also contains 5 significant figures. Remember, if our number is written like this, only 6400, so we will go by the previous rule. So it will have these 2 zeros present to the right side of 2 non-zero digits, so they will not be counted as significant digits. So this will contain only 2 significant figures. But if we place a decimal and a 0, then not only these 2 zeros will be counted as significant figures, but this 0 will also be counted as the significant figure. So total number of significant figures over here will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Next, how to round off a particular result or a measurement. If the digit to be dropped is less than 5, then preceding digit is left unchanged. So when we are making the approximation, rounding off few of the digits in a measurement, what rules we have to follow? First one, if the digit to be dropped is less than 5, then the preceding digit is left unchanged. For example, 8.64. Here we want to express the result only up to first decimal place, so we are dropping off 4. That 4 which is to be dropped is less than 5, so result will be 8.6. 10.73. We wanted to express the result to first decimal place, we are dropping 3. 3 is less than 5, result will be 10.7. If the digit to be dropped is greater than 5, then the preceding digit is increased by 1. For example, 8.67. We wanted to express the result up to first decimal place, so we are dropping 7. 7 is greater than 5, so when the 7 will be dropped, the preceding digit, the digit before this 7, this is 6, it will be increased by 1, so result will be 8.7. Next, 10.36. We are dropping 6. 6 is greater than 5, so the preceding digit before to it will be increased by 1, so our result will be 10.4. Next, First two rules were applicable if the digit to be dropped is less than 5 or greater than 5. What if the digit to be dropped is actually 5? So if the digit to be dropped is 5 or 5 followed by 0, then the preceding digit remains unchanged. For example, 8.65. So we want to express the result to first decimal place. We are dropping 5. When 5 is to be dropped, then there will not be any change in the preceding digit, so result will be 8.6. 8.650. Again, the digit to be dropped is 5, but after 5 we have a 0. In this case also same rule will be applicable. So when we will remove 5 and 0, the result will still be 8.6, and that means there will not be any change in the value 6. If the digit to be dropped is 5 or followed by 0, then the preceding digit is raised by 1 if it is odd. So 8.75, we wanted to express it on the first decimal place, so we are dropping it by 5. So when the 5 is to be dropped, we had to look out for the digit 7. 7 is odd in number, so we had to increase 1, add 1 into 7, result will be 8.88. Similarly, 8.750, again 5 is followed by 0, but the digit before 5 is 7, odd in number, odd in nature, so when we will remove 5 and 0, 1 will be added into 7, result will be 8.8. Over here also, if preceding digit is even, so when we are following rule 3, that digit to be dropped is 5 followed by 0, then the preceding digit remains unchanged if it is even in nature. For example, 8.65, we are dropping 5, 8.650, 5 followed by 0, again we are dropping these two, but preceding digit is even in nature, so there will not be any change. So if it is odd in nature, then we had to add 1 into it. So these are the rules which we had to follow for rounding off a particular measurement.